What's going on, Shadow Click? All right, so this is what we're about to do. So we're going to go into practice mode here. We're going to take a look at cover two. So cover two is a defense that can be very effective in certain situations, and you have to kind of be able to pick and understand when cover two is going to be called. And you also need to understand, we're going to go Texans on Texans here. You also need to understand where the pockets are and how to throw that cover two as well. All right, so the main thing with cover two to identify is looking at the defensive alignment. Now, in this series, I'm going to be going through different coverages. One of the main things that you need to understand is there are counters to everything that I'm saying. And smart defensive players are going to give you one look and switch it to a different look. So always take what I'm saying here and validate post snap. So our pre-snap reads are important, but post-snap is going to be key here as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick, let's see if we can just get any. I would take Dragon Space. It doesn't matter what the play is here. We're going to jump into two. And in this case, we're not going to jump into Tampa. There are differences between cover two hard flat, Tampa two, running a straight cover two, these inverts. There are differences between all of these, especially cover two drop as well. So we're going to start now with cover two hard flat. Now I'm not going to throw this. We just want to take a look. Okay. Now let's go back into the replay and let's take a look at what's going on. All right, this cornerback, first off, 5 yards off the line of scrimmage. That lets you know that we're looking at a potential cover two right here. On this side, it's harder to tell because there is no one spread out wide. So he's here about 3 yards off the line of scrimmage. And it's hard to tell if that is actually a cover two or a man or, any other number of things because of the tight formation here. But on this side, we can tell at least we're looking at a potential for a cover two. So when I say hut, he drops, but you can tell he's not running with him. He's backpedaling a little bit, but he's trying to sit right here, okay? The safety now has the responsibility of two receivers right here, okay? This is the pocket. Now, throwing in this pocket, it all depends on the quarterback you're throwing with, for sure. But more importantly is the timing. Because all of the quarterbacks in the game, I don't care who they all can make this throw. So it all depends on the timing. All right, so what does that timing look like? Let's put these two back on streaks. Now I'm going to throw this out at bad pass. Now, there's a caveat to the way I'm doing this right now because of the positioning. You got two receivers that are very close. Makes it easier for the safety to play this. If you can move this guy out, then that obviously would make it an easier pocket to throw to. But I'm going to try this one more time here. Out is what it is. I'm throwing with Stroud in simulation mode, so it's going to be a little bit tougher. But you can see that pocket, the safety's not responding fast enough to be able to get there. We're going to jump into a gun and kind of spread this out just a little bit more. So we have a little more room here. We'll run this one so that way I have an easier look here. All right, so now against this defense, you can see on the right side, the cornerback is at 5 yards because we do have somebody split out. All right, so he hits the pocket. I'm free-forming this too, right? So, wrong receiver. I'm not going to free-form this one. I'm just going to throw this regular. There you go. All right, now that one I threw a little bit too early because he hadn't got to the point of clearing the cornerback just yet. You can see right here, it kind of bumped him, and I was already throwing it. So that's a bad spot to be throwing it because the cornerback was still sitting there. So I'll show you if I throw this way too early right here. See, the cornerback's still there. You cannot throw it early. So that's what I say. It's not as much about the receiver. It's more about the quarterback, excuse me. It's more about who is throwing it. Now I'm going to show you another wrinkle to this. I'm going to put this guy out here. Let me see. Can I put him on? Nah, out is enough. So I'm gonna put him on this out route right here. So that's gonna make, you can see there, the corner had to step off of the streak a lot faster. So you saw normally he was taking several steps back. Now he broke. See him breaking down? He's coming down because there is someone now threatening his territory. Before there wasn't, but you can see the response. It's actually really good. It's a good adjustment by Madden. You can see that the response here is faster, and I'm releasing. So you can see Stroud. I'm throwing this. Once I see that he's clearing, I'm throwing this up into the outside. Okay, just not connecting on him. That's all that is. But that pocket is the pocket to throw it into. Let's see if I have something a little. This Texans playbook has so many compressed sets, man. Yeah, we'll take this spread wide slot. That'll work. Do I have? And we'll just take the slot out. All right, so last one against cover 2 hard flat. Now, you see the receivers a little bit more outside in this case. And the slot is inside the numbers here. All we're doing right here is, good bump. All we're doing here is trying to keep the safety. That's all we're doing. We just want the safety to have to think about 2 different people. And this works, you'll see whenever we go into other coverages, this works against all sorts of coverages. Not this combo, but I'm just saying. So you see here, the safety. He has to think. All right? So now, let's take a look at this. I'm just going to get him out of here. Okay? Same route on the left. All right? I'm going to block the running back so there's nobody. Put him on the out. I don't care what's going on the right side of the field. Let's just see the safeties movement. See that? The safety has no one to keep him busy. No one keeping him occupied. It's very difficult to hit that pocket when there's no safety on top when there's no one inside keeping the safety busy. So he just goes straight over here. Now the plays before, you saw the safety just kind of backpedaled and stayed still. He waited to see what would happen. All right, let's switch this up. All right, so we're going to go same play. There we go. We'll just go 4 verts. We're going to go tempo 2. All right, and same thing. We're just going to look and see what the defenders actually do. And I don't want him running a post. I just want him to run a regular old streak. All right, just block the running back just so we have a little time. All right, so a little bit different look from the cornerback here. All right, so let's take a look and see what the cornerback did here. So in a tempo 2, you can see he's actually going to run with him a lot more than what he would normally. Okay, you see the safety is being pressed. But you can tell, if we look here, look at the distance between the 2 receivers. Because when this receiver comes off the line, the cornerback gets hands on him, makes him divert from running a regular streak to where he has to actually kind of bend it, almost like an out and up almost. So it's a lot slower when you run this against the tempo 2. So you have to be cognizant of that. So this is the same thing I was saying on the last play. If I, at this point, let's see, let's put him back on the streak. If I say, oh, cover 2, boom, throw it in that pocket, see the cornerback? He's right there. So you have to be very aware of reading this. You can't just say, oh, yeah, this looks like a cover 2. So we're good. I'm just going to go ahead and hit this pocket. I'm going to throw the streak, and we're good. You can't do that. You have to wait, and then that pocket is there. All right, so that's tempo 2. Now, granted, I'm not worried about, I am in 4-3. I'm not worried about what the inside linebackers and everything are doing. So it's cover 2. This is 4-3 defense. All right, so let's take a look at a cover 2 invert. All right, so you can see this a little bit different, right? All right, so if we look at this play right here, our first inclination is, oh, this is a cover 3, right? You got one safety up top. You got the cornerbacks that are sitting, basically 8 yards off the line of scrimmage. This looks like a cover three. So let's play it out and see what happens. My bad, Stroud. Just letting you get set up right there, cuz. My bad. All right, so let's take a look. Now, this is an invert. And so what happened was the safety comes down and the safety's playing the two. Look over on the right side over here. Okay, that's Petrie, my strong safety. He's playing the two. On the right side, look at the right cornerback. He's belling. Now let's take a look at this left side. Left side, he's playing the two. But now look at the safety. The safety's belling out. Right? So, I mean, you can obviously see where the pockets are here. First, we have a pocket over here. Safety's belling, but you do have a pocket. You can throw that. You may have to back shoulder throw it. You could also hit the slot right here. That definitely depends on your quarterback's throwing ability, because he could float that straight towards the safety. But you do have a pocket right here. There's an obvious void that is being created up here, though. So this is a cover two. So that means they're splitting out and covering two halves of the field. That means this area of the field is wide open. Okay? All right. So in this pocket, if you can get someone there to get above the linebackers, then that's a potential. So like if this receiver here was running a post instead of a streak, that's wide open, and then you have that pocket. All right, so let's throw a few here. All right, so we're just going to leave him on that little option right there. Let's block the running back so that way we can just get a little bit of extra time here. All right, so let's look at this pocket. See, that one is all about timing. Now, the cornerback is not sitting. He's not settling down. He's not flat-footed in the sense of, yes, we are coming up, but you would have had to notice that he is not belling. He has not gotten into his retreat right here. He's still just shuffling. So that's why I threw this early. As soon as he got right here, you're even, you're leaving. Throw it outside to where it doesn't go to the safety. Perfect placement by Stroud, who is the future GOAT of the NFL. Crown him right now. And no, I'm not a homer. All right, so let's look at it again. Inside. Right, I didn't free form that one. Oh, he intercepted. I thought Tank got that one. Let's throw that one again. I'm gonna free form this one. All right, so I'm gonna throw this down and inside, make him run the post. Okay, so this is one of those things. If you go watch our freeform video, watch the one that I posted on freeforming, and you'll see the different ways that you can use freeform to improve things. So in this case, he's running straight up the numbers. But I throw this down and to the right, so think of it more of around 4:30 on a clock. So that's where I place the left stick, and you can see it made him run a post. Okay? Now, that can get you in trouble. It did earlier in a tournament game for me. I got in trouble doing that. All right, so now, again, the inclination on the right side over here is to actually run something of a cover three beater. So you would think that the pocket may be open on the left and the right on each one of these slot receivers. So you would think Dell would be open in the slot, and you would think Schultz would. So don't get tunnel vision, because if you see what happens here, the linebacker gets there, the safety chucks him, it's just wide open. Come here, Sting. Petrie, come get some. Never mind. It didn't work out like I thought it would. All right, so if we take a look at this replay on this side, so Stingley chucks him, so he's already off. If the rush is coming, he's out the read, right? But then number two, we have Harris, who's floating out here, and he's covering him. So that's not there, right? So you got to keep your head on a swivel when you're making these play calls. It may seem like it's there. It might look like there's a possibility of being a cover three beater right here because you are running seams. So seams are cover three beaters. We'll get to that in the next video. But It's not there. So this is why I say, trust your pre-read, but verify. You cannot just say hut and expect that to be open. All right, so let's go back to verts and let's take a look. I don't want to run drop out of there. Let's $3.2 cover 2 drop, or $2.23 cover 2 drop, whatever it is. All right, so as normal, we're just gonna let this play out. I'm just gonna put him on a streak. I don't want him going to the post route. Let's just let this play out. All right, so a lot different here, huh? Which one of y'all want some? Come get some. All right, so let's take a look at this. Now, this is cover 2 drop. They're at 5 yards. You're thinking, boom, I'm running 4 verts, easy pickings. I got this. There's no pocket. No pocket. No pocket. This guy maybe could back shoulder a throw right here. We'll try it and see, right? But the responsibilities on this cover 2 drop is different, okay? So we'll look at an adjustment to this in a moment. But let's see. Let's try this little back shoulder right here. And as soon as he clears him, a little tough. A little tough. I probably threw that a little bit early. I'm going to put him on a streak so he doesn't go to the post. Let him clear. Back shoulder. It's a little tough. He caught it. This is where it becomes really tough, and timing is important, because if you throw this too late, if you throw it too early, it could get intercepted, and both of those probably would if it was a better safety right there. No disrespect to Jimmy Ward. All right, so that's tough. All right, so now let's make some adjustments here. And let's say, let's see. If we swing right here, now you see there's a pocket. Okay? So, cover 2 drop. Their responsibilities are to the flats, but they're going to drop if there's nothing over there. Right? So the very first time we looked at this, I had my running back just blocking. Okay? And I tried to hit the pockets. But let's take a look at this cornerback over here. He's dropping, and then he notices there's somebody coming into the flats. I now have a responsibility. I have to stop. Okay? So, in cover 2, you have to, again, verify it's the right coverage. And then you have to make sure that you're respecting and understanding the principles of this. Now, if we look at it on this side, no one in the flats, what's the cornerback do? He runs with him. There's nothing pushing him to stay flat. Over here, he's running with him. And then boom, he sees him. So at that point, when you see him break down, that's the throw. Right there. That's when you got the window. Okay? So once you see that, boom. See Stroud, he's releasing. As soon as I see him breaking down, he's releasing. And I also, same thing, notice the pattern. He's running straight, and then he has to bend out. Don't let that float to the safety. You have to bend that out. And that's if you're using classic passing, things like that, it'll work the same as well. All right, so that covers the basics of cover 2. Now let's take a look at the mix-ups here, right? So in this case, we're in cover 3. We're going to look at cover 3 cloud strong. Nope, not what I want to see. Got press. I want to be able to show you so you can actually identify this particular play. Let's run a nickel over cover 3 cloud. All right, so very weird alignment here. I've seen this a few times with cover 3 cloud, but let's just let this play out and you can see what happens. Okay, I'm gonna switch. Actually, let me switch up the offensive set. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see. Actually, I don't think this is going to be what I want to see either. Let's see. Yep, kind of doing the same thing. Okay. let's go back to the spread, and we'll still be able to take a look at it. Let's see what else we got in here first. Still learning this playbook. It's still new. All right, I'm just going to pick this just because I want to see the alignment real quick. Okay. This is the alignment I wanted to be able to show just so you can see a little more variation. So look at the left cornerback, or from the defense perspective, the right cornerback. But on the left side, the cornerback is in a cover 3 set, right? It looks like this is going to be a cover 3. But if you look at the right side, the cornerback is actually shallow. In this case, he's in a press. At least it looks like a press, okay? So I'm just going to let this play out. So you can see what happened on the right side and the left side, okay? So let's just go ahead and pull up the replay. So anytime you see these offset looks from the defense, you have one coverage on the left, one coverage on the right, all right? So you have to understand those principles to know basically what's available to you. So if we let this play out, we're just going to focus on the right side since we're not worried about cover 3 in this video. You can see what happens. Cornerback plays a 2, and then the safety is going to go ahead and run with that little slot fade. Now, of course, you could throw this slot fade right here, but we're not worried about doing that. So let's go back to our same setup that we had earlier. Let's just say we had streaks call right here. So look at the safety, okay? The very first steps of the safety was different from the steps of the safety when we looked at a straight cover 2 here. First thing he did was run out. So now he's cut down that window drastically, which makes it way easier for him to play both of these, okay? Now, let's look at it again. Let's streak him. Streak him. All right. Now, these two guys are very close. You throw it over there, look at that safety, right? Because remember, he's playing cover 3. Right? So, what you have to identify with cover 3 cloud is you have to be able to identify that this is a cloud or this is a cover 2 on the right, but also understand that the backside of this, there is a cover 3 that's happening. All right? So, that window is there, but man, it's a tight one. It's tight to get to that window, right? Now, those are long passes. So, to beat this, you see he's sliding over. You know the potential for him covering the third is there because you can identify this is potentially cover 3 cloud or cover 6 or cover 9, one of those 3. Didn't get it. Didn't get it. Tried to get it into that window. But this is one way to be able to beat it, is to be able to throw the back shoulder in that pocket. There you go. I took the free form off of that one and just did roughly the same thing as earlier, about 430 to try to throw a back shoulder fade. Okay, so the same thing is there. Oop, didn't do that one. That one was more about 6 o'clock. That was a bad one. Bad throw there. So that's there, right? So be mindful of that. That in a cover 3 cloud, that safety is going to slide to the 3 position. All right, a couple more, and then we'll get up out of here. I think the video's been long enough as it is. All right, go to full vertical so I don't have to audible as much. Let's go take a look at a cover 6. All right, same thing. Now you have what looks like a 4 on the right. Right, your cornerback's about 8 yards deep. You got 2 safeties up top, but the left side, that looks like we're actually in a cover 2. All right, so we're gonna let this play out. I'm gonna block the halfback here so you can just take a look at this. All right, and mind you, we don't have any. Well, I don't think match or anything is on, but it may be. All right, so let's look at it on the 2 side. He just runs with them. Okay, he has nothing to make him stay flat. There's nothing out here. I blocked the halfback. There's nothing making him respect that and stay flat. Let's take a look at the safety. He's out here because there's nothing making him choose otherwise. All right, let's take a look at the other side. We got a streaker running here. He's running with him. Hands him off. Then on this side, he's running with him. Right? So you would think that we could still hit that pocket, right? That's what you would think. We'd be able to hit that pocket and do something there. All right, so cover 6. We're still going to do the same thing, but let's go ahead and go with the 2x2 look here. Now look at the safety. Do you see the safety there? The safety couldn't bail out and go to that cornerback. I'm going to pull this back. He couldn't bail out and go look at that cornerback right here. See him? Look at the safety. He starts and is like, wait. He might be going vertical. And he had to stay there. Okay? But you also see the cornerback did what he was supposed to do and just ran with him. Now look, one thing I didn't point out. Did you see the shift in the corners? See the cover 2 is on the left. Now the cover 2 is on the right. Okay, so these are just little things to pay attention to in your defense and trying to find some form of a pocket to be able to throw this to, right? But same concept is here. There's nothing telling that cornerback that he has to stop running. All right, so let's just go ahead and put halfback on a swing route here. I'm going to block the tight end just so we can hold him. See, now the cornerback has to sit down. Okay, so all of this is really just about understanding the tendencies and the expectations, not even tendencies, just the expectations of each one of these players. So we can create this pocket, bad throw. We can create this pocket, and it's definitely about timing. Let's swing him out, and let's put him on a fade instead of a streak. Let's see if that'll get us a better release. But we can create this pocket and still beat the cover 2, but you have to make the cornerback sit down. And then it's the same pocket that we had before. Once he sits down, because he sees there's somebody in the flats, I have responsibility. I cannot run with him. So the minute you see him breaking down, throw that. This one I did not freeform. I just hit left stick, basically 9 o'clock. Through that one without freeform. So I'm not going to go through cover 9. It's basically similar in the same ways. If there is a cover 2 responsibility on the field, whether it's 6, 9, cover 3 cloud, or a regular cover 2, you have to make that cover 2 corner respect the flats. And then you also have to make sure that the safety is not just bleeding over to the outside. Because if the safety takes off to the outside, then he's just going to blow that up. Okay? So this will be the last thing I show, actually, because I saw the play and it made me think about it. This, I mentioned at the beginning of the video. Trust your pre-snap, but do not expect that to be there guaranteed. What I mean by that is this right here looks like it's a straight cover 2. Depending on how you read this play, whether you're reading from right to left or left to right, you could be in trouble, because this is actually a cover 9 show 2. There are other variations of this as well. Cover 4 show 2, cover 4 press, which you may think is man, but it's actually cover 4. So there are different variations of things. And of course, if you're playing a good player, then you could be in cover 2, but they could audible the cornerbacks to be in man coverage. There's all sorts of variations that can happen just on play call, but then also on the user that you're facing. So if we say HUD here and just watch this, okay? I mean, it's boxed, right? You would be like, man, why is this cover two not working? Why didn't this cover two actually do what I expected it to do? Nobody's there except for this halfback. I'm about to run over somebody. Boom. Oop, my bad. My bad, Stroud. He feeling that one too. My bad. All right, so let's swing him left. And let's see. Oh, look at that. You thought you had you a little something that could work, right? Thought you knew something. Thought you knew if you did this. We watched Shadow Tactics. Tactics told us that if we swing the halfback to the left, that's going to make him sit down. No. Why? Because it's just a show two. It is not an actual cover two all the way across the field. Okay? So now let's put this receiver on an out route. Now we got a pocket. But how do you know that pre-snap? Well, you may not. Okay? You may not know it's pre-snap. You know, you may end up putting these two on these two routes just to press those corners because you have no idea which corner it is. And then you have to quickly read and see, okay, which one, and now I got picked off because I'm looking left to right, and trying to read. So it's tough. It's tough. It's not always going to be easy to determine which one of these is the true cover two. All right. Anyways, that's it for the cover two video. Remember, trust your pre-snap, but verify. We'll catch you on the next video. We'll take a look at cover three, and then we'll do a cover four and some cover. Well, let's go ahead and do 0, 1, 3, and 4. We'll go that route on the next videos. So keep it popping. We'll catch you.